I run my own graphic design business and I use tools, assets and websites that will help me become a better creative and save time and money. Now this list is going to be full of everything from free design tools, typography, icons, photography, UX principles, you name it. Anything that will help you become a better digital creative, this is it. Now, quick disclaimer, you might be someone that loves working from scratch, never using all these different tools, utilizing other assets. This video might not be for you, but if you're someone that likes to utilize and take advantage of these things that are out there, a lot of them free, then stick around because this video is for you. Okay, enough of the intro, here we go. 30 design tools, assets, and things that are gonna help you become a better creative. Awards.com. Now, if you're someone that just loves web design or you want to become a web designer, or you just generally like looking at beautiful websites, well, this is the site for you. Now, as you can see, it is definitely quality over quantity. They really curate some of the best web design out there. And I feel like it is updated quite a lot. So every time I go on the site, there's more things for me to take in. So if you're a web designer or you're just generally wanting to improve in how you design digitally, this is a great website to bookmark. Pathfolios.com. Now, it's a bit of a weird name. This is basically a website filled with portfolios. So if you're a new designer or you just want to change up your portfolio that you've had for years, basically it pulls together some of the best designers and how they showcase their work. Now, I've spoken in the past that it's really good to mix up your portfolio from time to time. Sometimes it can be a bit stale or you're just not hearing back from people when you're applying for roles. Well, pathfolios.com is definitely going to help you boost your portfolio and change directions. Appshots.design. Now, this website is just such a game changer. If you're a UX designer or a digital designer and you struggle with finding good inspiration, now this website basically stops you from wasting time and it curates the best app design for you. And the bonus thing is, it stops you from downloading the app on your phone yourself. It's straight there on this website. You don't have to download it and use up space on your phone. Reallygoodemails.com. And yes, it is in the name. We know what it's going to be, but let me explain. Now, if you're a digital designer or you work in e-com, then this site is so good because it is filled with inspiration of some of the best emails out there. Now, email design is quite difficult. It can be very boring and repetitive, but this really changes it up and shows you the best of the best. And also a bonus feature, it's really good for copywriters because if you're getting stuck with certain copy or you don't really know how to word a product or something, this has tons of really good copy. So if you want to tweak and edit it for your own needs, then yeah, you can do that. Thebrandidentity.com. Now, believe me when I say this, I'm a branding designer, I'm a graphic designer. This website is probably my favorite one on this list. Now, you know, there are so many different websites out there that curate graphic design, branding content, and sometimes I feel like they're a little bit repetitive. Well, thebrandidentity.com is a little bit different because their quality of work is just so good. I don't know who's curating all this stuff. I just really like the things they choose. Showreels.com. Now, it's in the name again. It's basically a website filled with inspiration for motion designers and animators. And I feel like the content is also just really fun, playful, eye-catching. It's not any boring stuff. You don't have to scroll for ages to find something good. It's right there for you and it's just filled with really great content. Logobook.com. Now, this website, oh my, it is so good. Basically, as you can see on screen here, you have all these letters here and shapes, and all you do is just click on one of the letters and then you get all these different logo forms of that letter. It is so handy. If you're someone that wants to be more creative with your typography, your letters, or even if you're a logo designer, this website saves you loads of time. Some of you watching might know this book is pretty similar to this. Whoa, I forgot how heavy this book is. If you're used to this book, this website is pretty similar to this. Envato Elements. Now, I'm someone that loves to take advantage of design assets and use them in my projects. So I might take an illustration from somewhere, photography from somewhere else, sounds, video, motion, and bring it together. And that can be quite costly. And I found that Elements Envato, or Envato Elements, I never know which way around it goes, is a subscription service for all your design assets. I've found that this is probably the best one because it's fairly affordable and you just have so much choice. Like, as you can see, they have everything from video templates, music, sound effects, graphics templates, presentations, photos, fonts, pretty much anything you need that you can't make yourself or you don't have time to do. Elements Envato is a great one for that. Skillshare.com. Now, if you're on YouTube, you've probably heard of Skillshare because they sponsor like every single video that creators do. This isn't sponsored, I'm just generally sharing my love for it. If you want to learn a new skill, say you feel like you're missing something in your career, whether that's animation, illustration, video making, Skillshare is so good for that. Now, as an example, I'm starting this YouTube channel. I'm a complete beginner, but I use Skillshare, their 30-day free trial. I've got a link in my description if you want to do it yourself. And I taught myself video editing just watching a Skillshare course, design.facebook.com. Now, I hear what you're saying. You're saying, Facebook, are you joking? But stick with me here. If you're looking for really great high quality mockup, Facebook actually has a little page for that. And as you can see, I'm like endlessly scrolling here and you see they have every single kind of phone, tablet, laptop you can imagine. And I've downloaded them all the time and they're all such high quality. They're really well lit and just so easy to work with. Google Fonts. Now, again, a big corporation like Google, you don't want to support them, but this is a really great free asset that I use all the time. If you're looking for great free fonts, I highly recommend checking out this site because they have just endless amounts. And I wouldn't say they're the most creative and crazy like we all know DaFont and those other free websites, but these are just really good, readable. I'd say most of them are sans serif. And a little bonus thing that everyone forgets is Google Fonts also has an icon section. I did a video on Instagram about it and I think it got something like 3 million views. So I think people didn't really realize that they had this. But as you can see, yep, tons of amazing icons that you can use on apps, presentations, you name it. And you can also adjust it by these little sliders here. So yeah, Google Fonts and now Google Icons. Fontjoy.com. Now, if you're a designer that struggles with committing to font pairings, just like I do, whenever I'm designing something, I'll show it to loads of people and say, do these fonts work? I'm not so sure. Well, Fontjoy kind of helps you with that. So basically, as you can see on screen, they suggest what fonts work well together. And you can click this little generate button here, and then you automatically just get a new design. And again, you can use this slider here, so you can adjust it to have more contrast or be more similar. And then all you do, if you like a font pairing, you just click on the font name on the left, and it should take you to fonts.google.com. Another one for typography fans, fontsinthewild.com. Now, yes, it's in the name, so you definitely know what it's going to be. Basically, any font that you like, if you found it on Adobe Fonts, Google Fonts, or a free font site, you can go in here and find the font that you like and just see how it looks in the real world. And again, I'd say it definitely shows more quality here than quantity. You're maybe not going to find hundreds of results, but there's definitely a few that will just let you decide if you like that font or not. Stocksy.com. Now, have you ever been really tired when you're searching on one of those stock photography websites and it's always those corporate images? Sometimes it's like a man in a suit shaking someone's hand or pointing at a board. Well, Stocksy is a little bit different because it shows just unique images that maybe you haven't seen before or that will surprise you when you write in a search. Now, as you can see here, I will just type in male as the search. See, as you can see now, you don't have any of the standard ones you'd see everywhere. You have really bright colored ones, creative images, diverse images. It's just a little bit different than your standard photography website. Okay, halfway through, are you still with me? Let's carry on. Checklist.design. Now, this website is a game changer and it really helps you kind of fake it till you make it. So if you're a project manager or you're just new in a different field, if that's graphic design or illustration, social media, Checklist Design basically takes you from A to B on a project timeline, and it will do a giant checklist of everything you need to make sure you've done and covered. So for example, typography, if I'm doing that for a brand, this checklist says, do I know what weights I'm going to be using, the leading, the kerning, letter cases, hierarchy, usage, like do I have usage to use this commercially, on print, digital, on apps? I can't stress this enough. This is just so helpful. It's like a safety net to any project you're doing. The psychology of design. Now, it sounds a little bit technical, but stick with me. Basically, as you know, a graphic designer or creative, your job is to tell a story or make people feel a certain way or sell a product. And we know that everyone has different things that go on in their head, whether they keep on scrolling or they look at something or click through. And basically, psychology of design sums all these up and just helps you become a better creative with making informed, educated decisions of how you design something. Brandingstyleguides.com. Now, I know this hook gets used a lot, that people say, this site feels illegal, but it kind of does because it feels like you're working inside all these brands. You basically have a list of all these different brands and their style guides. Like you're really taking a sneak peek into their design departments. You can see how they set up their logos, how they do spacing, color, typography, how they showcase their whole brand. Thefuture.com. Now, if you're someone that just wants to take your design business to the next level, it's basically courses and resources for everything you can imagine. So if you're wanting to expand your knowledge on illustrations, design thinking, color, grids and layouts, this has a handy little course for you. And what I like most is they focus on the business side of design as well, which kind of gets glossed over and not talked about enough. Anything you kind of think you would need to become a freelance designer or work for yourself, they have that there for you as well. PaletteMaker.com. Now, if you're like me, I kind of struggle with committing with color palettes, and sometimes I stick to the same colors. My designs start to look similar. This website basically curates all these different color palettes for you, so you can try out your designs in so many different color variations. And what I love the most is if you click a color you like, it will automatically show your work on this right-hand side of how it will look in these colorways. And then all you do is just click Export Palette, and you have the hex codes here, or you can export it in all these different formats. Contra.com. Now, if you're a freelance designer and you're tired of having all these different things going on in different apps, so you do your accounting here, you do your portfolio there, and you know, it's a bit confusing because you just have so many different places and things going on. Well, Contra is basically like a place for everything. So basically you can make your own profile here, so you can have everything from your work here, a little bio, services tab, and then basically you can use this profile to do everything. You can apply for jobs inside the website, and you can even do your invoices and payments, and Contra doesn't take commission, so it's a win-win. Fontself.com. Now, if you're someone that's always wanted to make their own font, but they don't know how, well, Fontself is making it a lot easier. So basically, it's a plugin for Adobe and Photoshop, and you can make all your different type and letters, and then all you do is just drag and drop, and then it will automatically generate it into an open type font that you can use everywhere else. I think this is just a really handy tool if you want to get into typography. This is a really easy way to do it. And I've also just seen on their website they have an experience on iPad as well, so if you prefer drawing letters on your iPad, well, there you go. Lunacy. Now, if you're looking for some free design software that's kind of a mixture between Figma and Canva, and they kind of bring it together, Lunacy might be for you. And what is great is it's very drag and drop. It's really good for beginners or people that just don't want to commit to expensive design programs. And as you can see, it comes with things like icons, illustrations, photos, UI kits, and it works for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Does anyone use Linux anymore? Speaking of free design tools, I spoke about this before on my Instagram and people seem to really like it. Inkscape.org. Now basically it's just a free version of Adobe Illustrator, and you have all the tools you can think of, from the pen tool, the pencil tool. You can even do vector graphics. So if you're looking to do vector designs or stuff like that, you can do it on Inkscape. And what's great is as well, you can export it in all these formats you think you would, like AI, PDF, PNG, GIF, JPEG, so you're not going to be stuck just because it's a free program. Notion.com. Now, a lot of people already heard about Notion, but I just want to shout it out because it has helped me so much. So in the past, I would have a to-do list, a calendar, notes app, all these different things separately. Notion kind of brings it all together. So now, as you can see, I have everything in one place. I have my to-do list, my notes to do later, calendar, and then what's great is you can just curate your whole board in a way you want. From to-do lists, you can drag images in, videos, embed things. It's just a really great life organizer. And if you're a creative that has lots of ideas and you're screenshotting things, Notion is really great to just kind of curate it and put it in one place. ReadyMag.com. Now, I've been sponsored by them in the past, but this video, I'm not being paid at all to say this. I just generally love them. So if you're really into designing websites, but you have no idea where to start or how to code, that was just like me. Well, ReadyMag is basically just a web design builder for people that don't know how to code. And it has lots of templates, but before you freak out, it is not like those boring templates that you see everywhere where you can't really adjust it. ReadyMag is basically for designers. You can do so much. As you can see on screen here, you can do all these fancy animations, you can drag things, you can add video, change colors, do typography without a single bit of code. So yeah, readymag.com if you want to design beautiful websites. Mural.co. Now it's basically just a giant whiteboard. So if you're collaborating with loads of people from illustrators, type designers, copywriters, you can all come together on Mural and just have this whiteboard where you throw loads of ideas on a page and you just kind of work through it all together. So yeah, if you're looking for a great collaborative tool, Mural. Another free design tool here, photop.com. Now it's very similar to Inkscape for Illustrator, but this is for Photoshop. You don't want to pay for expensive Photoshop, or you're just not ready to commit just yet, or you just want to try it out with photo editing. Photop basically has everything you can imagine that Photoshop would have. So as you can see here, yeah, look at the toolbar. It's exactly the same as Photoshop, all the things you know and love. And the best thing is you can also export it as all these different file formats as well. So yeah, photop.com. Hikey.app. Now, if you're looking for a really good web design tool where you can do lots of things like cool backgrounds, but you don't want to be stuck with templates, well, Hikey starts with all these kind of standard templates, but then you can pretty much adjust everything. You can really change all these things with the sliders. You can add different patterns. You can even change colors with the hex code. So you can make all these images exactly your own. And I share this website a lot with people that just want to be a little bit creative with their presentations and designs, but don't really know how to start from scratch. Animography.net. Now, this site is a lifesaver for me. I'm not someone that is good at After Effects or motion graphics, but Animography.net makes me look like I am. So basically, as you can see, they just have loads of After Effects templates for your type. And the best thing is there's free ones and paid ones. A little spoiler alert here, the title at the start of my video, that was using this website. So you would have thought maybe I spent hours making that, but it took me 10 minutes. I just imported it into After Effects and changed the type, and that was it. And finally, number 30, spoiler alert, I don't have one. I think it's best if you guys write in the comments what ones I miss. What sites and tools and assets do you use that I'm missing out on? Maybe I need to do another video, part 2, with all the suggestions that you put down there. And that's it, that's the list. I use them all the time, I'm obsessed with them. So I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think. Give the video a like, subscribe, and a little notification bell. That will really help out this channel. And that's it from me. See you soon.